Welcome to Life Coaches Unfiltered, where Desiree, Dory, and Michelle, three life coaches, are here to answer the questions you have, but we're afraid to ask. No fluff, no filters, just real talk to help you navigate life's big challenges. Let's dive in.
Hey, y'all, we're back for another episode of Life Coaches Unfiltered. And today we're talking about the apology epidemic. That's what
Sorry.
I have coined this term
I'm
of the
so sorry.
apology epidemic.
I'm so
Why
sorry.
why we feel the need to say I'm sorry all the time. Where does that come from and what can you do about it? All right. Michelle brought this to our attention. She was the one that was like, I want to talk about let's stop apologizing all the freaking time. So I want to know, Michelle. Anyway, we after check-ins, let's do quick check-ins. I could say I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna say I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We should do
You know what?
check-ins.
This is going
Well,
to be hard, right? It's so hard. It's so
It is
hard.
very hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
we're
I'm
gonna
doing
talk about
all
why
right.
it's hard.
Yeah, I'm doing all right. It's been a good, it was a busy week last week, but yeah, no, today I feel like I've had lots of sleep, lots of rest, and I'm like raring to go this week. Like, yeah.
I can
Dory.
tell.
Yeah,
Um,
Michelle is spunky this morning.
Michelle is going to be carrying us through today. She's going to
Buckle
be
in,
bringing
y'all.
energy today, dragging my butt across the finish line. Um, I'm good. I'm good. I've been, I went to water my new lawn. I watered my new lawn and this weekend, which was lovely. I was barefoot in a pair of overalls, being the very southern girl that I am. And it was all I needed was the big hat. It was so nice. It's very grounding and I enjoyed it very much. And then had some tea this weekend and just, kind of chilled a little bit. So it was great. How about you?
Grounding. So I just have to ask, since you mentioned overalls, do you know about Duluth Trading Company?
Mhm.
Okay, are your because I want some overalls from Duluth Trading so bad.
I love
Anyway,
overalls.
I love every piece of clothing that I've ever bought at Duluth Trading. Like I feel like I am a freaking walking catalog for them. Um, I have a shirt with mushrooms and gnomes on it. And people will see it and be like, "Is that gnomes on your shirt?" I'm like, "Yes, yes." Yeah. I also have rainbow shoes. So if you
I've
ever
seen
meet
those
me,
rainbow shoes.
Seen
I
them
know I need
too.
to make new rainbow shoes because those rainbow shoes I've worn them out. Anyway, so that's my new craft project. I don't have much to say. I'm on day 7, or this is a whole week of clean eating, and oh my gosh, y'all feel so much better.
It's
Like I
great.
have energy and my body usually doesn't adapt this quickly to it, and so I'm like, what is happening? But it's all good stuff. Like I have more consistent energy and I'm feeling so much better. So,
You know what? The
yeah.
fact that you said that, I just did a detox, and so I'm probably on the same kind of like, woohoo, yeah.
Yeah.
That
I mean,
explains it.
y'all, that was so last time we talked about fixed and growth mindset. I had never, it was not even in the realm of possibilities that what I ate affected how I felt until I want to say about 10 or 15 years ago. And I discovered, I was going to a gym and started paying attention to my nutrition. And I was like, oh, that's why you get tired after eating a donut. That's a sugar crash. Yeah. So, I mean, I love donuts, but donuts don't necessarily love me. So, I
Yeah.
can't have donuts all the time, which is fine. I mean, um, but yeah, I have a rule that I will never make myself eat anything I don't want to eat. And so that makes healthy eating better because then I can just be like, well, what do I want to eat within this thing? And making rice with coconut milk, y'all, canned coconut milk, it is so delicious. And I
Yes.
am maybe lying to myself and say it blunts the sugar response by having some fat in there, but man, I love me some coconut rice. It's my favorite.
I love myself some sticky rice.
This isn't as, it's not sweet like
I
sticky
know,
rice is,
I know, I
but
know.
oh my
Listen,
God,
mango rice is just awesome. It's just
I
awesome.
will go to town on some sticky rice.
I
Me
love
too.
a donut in my rice.
Oh my God.
Combined, I mean, just a regular rice is going to be sticky rice.
I was like, what is this sticky rice? And then I tasted it and I was like, oh,
So
that's
good.
Oh
With
my
delicious.
God, it's
mango
the
on the
best
side.
thing.
So good.
It's the
Um,
best thing. And
there's a
I learned how to make it when I went to Thailand, but it's a whole process, and I was like, yeah, I ain't got time for that.
Just
Like you have
buy
to
it.
buy this basket and everything, and there's a whole process. Oh, I'm just like, no, I just buy it.
Just buy it.
Trader Joe's needs to have like a frozen version of sticky rice that I could just go buy.
Mm.
Y'all, if y'all are not on the Trader Joe's, speaking of healthy eating, if you don't know about Trader Joe's frozen croissants, I think I've mentioned it here before, but they're amazing. Yeah. They have chocolate and almond croissants in the frozen section. You just put them on a little baking sheet and you wake up the next morning, they're all
Girl,
risen. You just pop
stop,
them in the oven.
stop.
It's so
Yeah.
good. They're so good. Okay. I'm not eating that right now.
Ah, I had a protein shake this morning.
I have my protein shake right here.
Ah, oh my God. All right. So let's talk about like Michelle, what back to my initial question for you. What prompted you to be so passionate about us talking about this?
Because I feel that women in general will always say that they're sorry for something. And I just, I'm not saying that we're sorry as people, but I just feel that we always are saying sorry because, and we're always doing a million and one things. And part and parcel, I just think we need to stop saying that we're sorry. It's just kind of like, thank you for being patient with me, but it's just like we always have to apologize. And I'm guilty, so it's not the fact that I'm saying that I'm all sweetness and light. Nope, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I apologize too, and sometimes I have to like catch myself, like, no, let me stop saying sorry because it's not the fact that I'm not sorry, but it's just like, let's use another word
Yes.
because I do a lot, but then I know when to dial back. But yeah, people just say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry," and it's just like, let's just use some other words because, we do so much, and yeah, and I'm sure you guys are in the same boat as me, that we say sorry lots of times.
I think for me, it was the way I was raised. I mean, it's just a way of, I've even like had people bump into me before and apologize. Not That's the word I like to use better. I'll explain that later on in the show, but I say I'm sorry. I'm sorry for standing here and you hit me with your cart. But I think that the way that I was raised was that you apologize. You remember, I don't know, when you were a little kid, I say you're sorry, say you're sorry, say you're sorry. And so you do that and then you start saying you're sorry for things that sometimes aren't even your fault. I do that a
Oh,
lot.
yes.
I have a friend who's like, don't be afraid to take up space.
Hmm. Yeah.
And he's a person of color. And he says it to women and people of color very regularly. Do not be afraid to take up space. And I'm like, thank you for that reminder.
Yeah.
Um, I really, because I think that that's where it comes from. I'm sorry that I am taking up space and got in the way of you and your shopping cart today, right? And we don't need to apologize for taking up space. We
Hmm.
don't. I mean, we are human beings. We all deserve to be on this planet.
I just had like a aha moment from that. I mean, I've never thought about it that way, that in a way, yeah, apologizing for just like showing up
Yeah.
and being, and I've never thought about that. Thank you. You've given me something to think about today because wow, a lot of people do that. We apologize for taking up space. Mm. Okay,
Yeah.
the show's over, everybody. Thank you so much, Desiree, for today.
Thank you for turning up.
This person is a very wise peacemaker. Anyway, thanks, Fi. I really appreciate that. Uh, Shout out to Fi if he ever listens. But yeah. Yeah, super wise person, someone that I really admire. Um, yeah, the other day I was talking to somebody and they're kind of early in their grief journey, and we were talking, they're like 2 months out from losing a parent, and they got emotional on the phone with me and they said, "I'm so sorry." And I was like, "Stop there. Stop. Stop. Why are we apologizing for
Mhm.
for our emotions coming to the surface?" And I think in
Yes.
that case, people are uncomfortable with seeing other people's emotions.
Mm.
Like, why, y'all? Why? Like, I think that people think that negative emotions are contagious or that grief is contagious. And you know what? Grief is contagious because you got grief. You're just not admitting it to yourself. There's grief showing up in your life somehow.
I think for me, because I can resonate with that, having been through the process and or going through the process or whatever it is that you do, it's a roller coaster of ride. But I think for me, apologizing in that way was not to upset other people. Having it all together and just being kind of, so if I show you emotion and I get upset, I'm afraid I'm going to upset you, and how you're going to like react for me crying and being a mess and that sort of thing, or even having you feel like you have to console me, and that kind of like that I have around me that's like I can take care of myself, I got myself. So if I show you that I'm grieving and I show you that I'm upset, then you're going to feel the need to have to like come and console me, take care of me, or try to do something with me. And so I just apologize for it, thinking that it's going to be like, I'm okay. I'm okay type
I
of
know, but
thing.
why is it my responsibility if you're crying because you lost your husband last year? Why is I like then that puts the onus, like that assumes that I take that I'm not going to take that responsibility. Like that's a whole nother codependency conversation. Like, I'm not here to fix it for you. The best way that I can help you heal and move through it is to witness it and to
Yeah.
really listen to you
Yeah.
and
But
to let you
there
express.
are people that try to jump in and fix it and try to do things that make you, I don't know. I consider, we're not gonna make the show about me today, but maybe another one. But for myself, I know that it's a hard thing for me to sometimes accept. I want to say love, because I love love and I love, you know, all of that, but accepting just kind of that nurture type of thing, that kind of like, let me just hold space for you or something. I don't know where I'm trying to go with this, but it's just sort
Is
of that. Go
I have
ahead.
a thought.
Okay.
Is it is there a part of it because you don't want to be vulnerable in front of somebody else?
Could be. It could be. Especially for something like that, because grief is like down at like your core. I
Hmm.
mean, it rips down
It's like
there, and
primal.
it is so that's the word. It is so primal. It makes you like, I remember at one point, like when I was cleaning out the closet and I like had all of his clothes in the middle of the closet because I was folding them and trying to figure out, and like I like threw myself on top of him and just screamed and like howled, and like this howl that came out of me that I don't even know where it came from. And it is such a primal thing that I think, yeah, it's almost like, when they say certain animals like dogs, when they're laying on their back, that's like they're most vulnerable. And so if they're with you doing that, that means they're comfortable with you. It's almost like that. I think that when you're in a grieving thing, it's like you're laying on your back or something, and you're just like, you are opening yourself up to being, whatever's going to happen. So,
I also find that even with clients that I've got, they'll say something and then it's just like, oh, you know what, I'm sorry. And I'm just kind of like, no, you have the opportunity. This is a time for you to kind of express anything. There is no judgment from me of what you're saying. If you decide to cry, you don't need to apologize. It's just you getting your emotions out. And that's kind of, again, I'm holding the space for you because if you can't do it with friends, family, then, I want to be that person. But again, everyone will apologize like, oh, I'm really sorry. And I'm just like, what are you sorry about? Like,
Mm.
you don't need to be sorry. If this is how you're feeling and how you want to express it. I'm all for it because we just need to kind of work through it. But so many times I'm saying you don't have to be sorry. You do not have to be sorry. You do not have to be sorry. It's just
Yeah.
I feel like I just need to make a record and press it. But even in that kind of like intimate moment, people feel that they have to apologize for certain things, and I'm just like, no, you
Yeah.
don't.
Like
This is
I
a
know that I
safe
feel
space.
that in relationships, like sometimes when I have needs that are not being met, it's hard for me to speak up.
Mm,
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry.
yeah.
It's it has become sort of like the word fine in a lot of ways. Oh, and
Mhm.
I'm having a hot flash right now. You can't tell my face is starting to sweat. I'm sorry. Did you hear me? I'm
Hang on.
sorry.
Dory, have you watched, do you have Netflix?
I do.
You gotta watch, have you watched Leanne? It's Leanne
I love
Morgan's.
her. I love her.
Have you watched her little sitcom that she's got out?
Yes,
Oh
I
my
love it.
God. Y'all, it is a microcosm of midlife and midlife transitions. And I was like, oh my God. I don't know if I'm more like her or the sister. I feel like I'm like her
Oh,
sister.
oh,
Anyway, Michelle, if you can watch it, it's anyway. Leanne Morgan is a comic, and yeah, it's like a little sitcom on Netflix. I think it's like 14 episodes.
that
Oh,
was the homework for my comedy class. Real quick sidebar. And I had picked her and her skit to do. We had to like dissect it and put like the different parts of comedy that she's using to put together. So yeah, I absolutely love her. But yeah, I feel
Interesting.
better.
I didn't
I feel
realize
better
that
now.
stand-up comedy class had homework. You have homework?
Oh, yes, 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 yes.
that's
We
so
have,
funny.
I had a lot of homework. I actually tell my first joke tonight. I wrote a joke and I have to stand up on stage tonight and tell it's just the one line. I have to do that tonight. So
You want to practice?
he said no
No, no,
practicing.
let's not give it away. Let's not give it
Yeah,
away.
he said no, no telling anybody your jokes, none
No,
till
can't
the
give
night
away the
of. So
jokes. Mm-mm.
anyway,
Listen,
Only
I just
one I
offered
wonder.
it.
I'm
Ooh,
I'm
about to
not
touch my
apologizing.
I'm about to touch my phone and turn my air down. I'm sorry. No, I just said
Oh
it
my God.
again. I'm
You
Would you
did that
sorry.
stop it?
twice. Let's
Okay.
see how many times
Lord.
we can say sorry in this episode. So we've
I'm
got
not
two for
apologizing.
Dory.
I am not apologizing from here on out. I am
We got two for
Dor
Dory.
Dory's making up for all three of us with her apologies this morning. So,
Stress. When you're
yeah.
in distress, it makes it so much more like where you're like, I just can't. I'm just gonna
Oh.
apologize for everything.
So I was doing research for this episode, and I stumbled on this Amy Schumer skit that she did. Anyway, we'll put the link in the show notes. It's a little it's on Vimeo, and y'all, it is hilarious. And it's a panel of a bunch of women, and it like, they're over apologizing for everything. And they're experts in their field. And they're like, well, I'm sorry, I only have like two PhDs and five masters, and like, but I'm not an expert in this topic. And it's just
But you
like,
know what? That's real life. Like I feel that
Yeah.
the fact that you did that research. Think about like all the women who want to go and be, high-powered people. In their head, they're like, you know what, I can't do this. And or, sometimes they'll say, oh, I'm sorry in an interview. And they're just like, what are you sorry about? Go and express yourself and show these badasses who you are, because this is the job that you need. And that just says, I've got oodles of degrees, and I've done this course, this course, this course, but I don't think I'm sorry, I don't think I'm what's the word I'm looking for? Oh my God, brain fog. Oh
Qualified?
my God.
Qualified?
Hot flashes, brain fog.
Qualified.
Desiree, what do you
Qualified.
bring in
Yes.
from the
Qualified. What?
perimenopausal
Like
world
what?
today?
What?
I can't
I'm sorry I
say it
don't have
on camera. I cannot say it.
I'm sorry I don't have all the qualifications. What are you sorry about?
Oh,
These are the
the
qualifications I
insomnia.
do
No, I'm not sorry about that. The insomnia. Last night was some insomnia. Although I'm reading a book about the Challenger explosion, and so I'm getting a lot of reading done in the middle of the night.
Nice.
Uh,
But yes, that just kind of says everything. Like,
but that brings up a good point, Michelle, because when we apologize, we're diluting our credibility, our
yes, our worth
expertise.
and our
We're
worth.
we're diluting our needs.
Yeah.
And I think, like in these studies, there were people that actually studied like this over apologizing, and it's much more prevalent in women. And so then I look at like, this doesn't need to turn into a fuck the patriarchy type topic, although, but um it's just, I think societally we have been trained to like be small and minimize ourselves. And I think that
Yes.
that could be part of what there are men that over apologize. I've seen that too. But guys, like guys and girls, all the people of the world, stop apologizing. You're diminishing yourself. Be proud of who you are, what you've done, what you know.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to take up space.
Well, I think that when you over apologize too, and that whole over diluting too thing is that when there's a time where you are supposed to say, I'm sorry, it's not heartfelt. It becomes more of just like a generic blanket that we throw over everything, and you just become a person that just not apologize, says I'm sorry all the time. There's a difference in apologizing and saying I'm sorry, and that's sort of what I had to train myself to do. And you can tell from the past 5 minutes of conversation, I'm not very good at it still, but you can trying to, when you say the words I apologize instead of I'm sorry, it's harder to say, but it makes you pause to really figure out if it's something that's meant to be said.
Mm.
And I had to do that because at one point when I was going through early in my sobriety journey, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry thing, and then someone looks at me and says, you're not a, it's almost like you're telling yourself I'm a sorry person. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. And what would happen if you use a different word? And so, like Michelle said, so I apologize. It's a hard word to say, and it makes you pause before you get it out to really think about if it's something that you need to be said.
Mm. Yeah.
One thing that I learned in my divorce is the best apology is changed behavior.
Yes, that's great.
So if you really do want to apologize, if you have done something to hurt someone or have done something that you do need to correct, the best apology is changed behavior.
Yeah, I love that. It's true. It's very true.
Especially when you
Actions
run up
speak about.
against, oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say actions speak louder than words.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, when you run up against somebody's boundary and they say this is a boundary for me. And yeah, the best apology is change behavior.
As the Brits like to say, all mouth and no trousers.
Oh,
I, I've never heard that. I love it. All mouth and no
All
trousers.
mouth, no trousers. Yeah.
Michelle, you just add such a dimension to this show. I mean,
You,
I really freaking mean that. I
you are the
love,
Trader Joe's croissant to this show, Michelle. I'm just the donut.
Oh, yeah.
oh my God. I mean, anyway, I have to tell y'all about a TikTok trend that our friend Joanne is doing. She's the Brit Joanne on my team. And anyway, my networking team, she's got a TikTok with her very Southern boyfriend, and they talk about um differences in like she showed me one the other day, and she was like, he was like, what do what do you use when you're writing in pencil and you make a mistake, on your paper? And she pulls up like an eraser and she's like, a rubber. And he was like, oh, that means something very different. And so they
Yeah.
like it's so funny because yeah, it's just I was like, oh, you're on TikTok? And she's like, I only have to say one word in each video.
That's
But you should
funny.
ask her next time you see her, which you'll
That's
be
great.
you'll be there on Friday. Ask her
Love
about
it.
her TikTok.
Yeah.
Michelle will be there for my team on Friday because I'm going somewhere.
Yes.
Um, nowhere fun and beachy, but anyway.
Still good. Yeah.
Ah, so talking about, so back to when should we apologize? Like I kind of mentioned when we run up on somebody's boundary.
Hmm. Yeah. I think when you step on someone's toes, when you do something that hurts someone, absolutely having an apology. That was one. I know I always say when I was getting sober, but I learned some of the best lessons in the world when those moments of when I was learning how to do this thing called life without, drinking was, we had like the thing you heard the step of making the amends where you make the list of the people you've harmed and then you make amends and then you practice it every day and you make apologies when you do it if you can. If it's too soon, and that's the thing too, is also knowing when it's too soon or when you shouldn't do it at all. That's, there were a couple of things on my list that I had made, and my sponsor was like, don't ever do that one. Don't ever do that one. Let sleeping dogs lie in some places because you're just going to pick a scab at someone or you're going to like rile something up that shouldn't be, or you shouldn't even be in contact with that person ever again. Don't ever do it. So it is a line of knowing when to do it, knowing is it for you or is it the other person that you're trying to do it for, and making sure that you're not doing more harm than good.
Yeah. That was an important thing that we talked about in Al-Anon too. Like
Mhm.
sometimes like if the apology is going to help you more than the other person, like if the apology is more for you to be at peace and it's going to reopen an old wound, maybe the apology isn't really about being sorry. It's more about you coming to like coming to peace with some crappy thing that you did that hurt somebody else, and you need to find your own way of getting through that, of making your amends, and it may
Yeah.
not be being in contact with that person.
Yeah, the best way to do that was write a letter and then burn it. Write a letter, rip it up. Write a letter and but never send it or anything like that. And just to kind of get it out, and then sharing it with another person. Like for me, it was like the sponsor, someone I trusted to be able to say this is what I've done, and then being able to do it that way and then like you said previously, changing the behavior
Mhm.
and never doing that again.
Yeah.
I also think that, sometimes we're in our moments of chaos and anger and whatever. And I think we also, again, it goes back to understanding your behavior as well with people and apologizing, saying that you're sorry for how you acted and, you know, really kind of understanding your emotions at that time and explaining it to the person so they don't take it personal because people take things personally and so we have to kind of recognize, and I know we talked about emotions already, but kind of understanding, all right, you know what, I was a little bit raw, I went overboard, and these are the reasons why. So, I think it's possible. I don't think it's possible for narcissists, but that's a whole nother conversation.
That's a
Um,
whole different that's a whole different episode we're gonna do too.
you
We
know,
can't wait to talk about narcissists. Woohoo!
so yeah, but I think, if you've done something and you've really kind of honed in on your emotions and it's so funny because the other day I got quite defensive because someone gave me feedback. And then I realized I was like, I was just like, no, Michelle, they're just giving you more advice. And I felt like I had to defend myself. And then I texted the person. I said, look, I wanna apologize for how I acted because, it wasn't necessary. And and I said, if I came off rude, I apologize. I'm sorry. And she goes, no, you were just defending, you were just defending what you did. And so, just acknowledging, how you're behaving is a good thing, and to say you're sorry. Yeah.
100%. So we're like, one of the things that I saw a couple years ago was, instead of saying I'm sorry, say thank you. So if you're late, like say, like I have a rule. If I'm running like 5 minutes late, I'm gonna text you, hey, I'm running 5 minutes late. And instead of saying I'm sorry, I'm running 5 minutes late, say, like, when you get there, say thank you. Thank you for understanding. Thank you for your patience. Thank you, right? So um maybe when you're grieving and that emotion comes up, and you have that emotional bubble, and the other person is just being there and seeing you and witnessing you, and not jumping in to try to fix it and give you all this advice about what you need to do, just say thank you. Thank you for being there for me right now. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
I love that. I've never heard that before. That is
Really?
really, I've never heard that before. I'm adding that to my book of like things to know because no, I've never heard that. I love that. Hmm.
I saw that on a little reel. I watch too many reels. I have a friend that calls it doing research.
He's doing
She just lots
real.
of research. She's probably got her PhD and reels and TikTok. Ah,
I mean, I can't say that's not true because sometimes it is, right? Because
Yeah.
we learn from some of these reels and TikToks. So I can't say that it's not true.
yeah,
It's just
mine
how
is.
long you spend. Do you spend hours? That's another thing. But anyway, that's a whole nother podcast about
It
social media.
is. We've got so many ideas of different podcasts that we can do.
Oh,
Um, but no, I do love that. I think that one of the things too, when someone is pointing something out as well, is I had someone once say to me, is it kind? Is it necessary? Is it true? When you're giving advice to someone else or you're saying something to someone else. And then I have to turn that around on myself too when someone is saying something to me about my behavior. It wasn't kind. Was it necessary? Was it true? Is there like an ounce of truth in something that they said to me that I can take and go back to, look at it and reflect on it a little bit more. And then, I like that, Desiree, than just saying, thank you for the feedback. And then, I can just let me take the time to absorb that and think about it a little bit and, maybe saying something and I'll get back to you or just saying, thank you and walking away from it and then looking at it. And you don't have to accept everything everybody says as because people look at everything from their own perspective, and if they come back to you with what they think you should change, maybe there's nothing there, but maybe there just is, and something to look at that you didn't think about before.
or maybe that person needs to change. Anyway,
one of the
I'm
things that
perfect. I'm perfect.
aren't we all perfect? In our
not
own
one of
little
them.
unique way. One of the things that I am trying to do when, like, say, one time there was this lady in the produce area of the grocery store that I like to shop at, and she was looking at every carton of berries, everything of everything, and like I was like, woman, and I just stood there and I got my phone out and I was like, well, I guess I'm going to return some emails while I wait for this woman to finish her inventory and very choosiness of the fresh fruit and vegetables. But I stood there and she turned around. She's like, thank you so much for not being a jerk about that. And I was like, you were a little over the top, woman. I didn't say that to her. Maybe with my eyes I said it, but I was like, okay. But like, one thing, instead of being like, I'm sorry, could I just like, can I pass? Or like, I'm sorry. Like people that put like, and this has been me, put their freaking cart in the middle of the aisle and nobody can pass. Like sometimes I'm just not self-aware, right? Um, And yeah. And so I'll just say, pardon me, or excuse me, or, can I get by?
Yeah.
That still is a little apologetic. Like, can I get by? It's like asking for permission.
Yes.
But I think it's better than just moving their damn cart out of the way. But like, how, those are ways that I'm trying to play with instead of saying, I'm sorry for taking up space and needing to move down the aisle. Like sometimes I'm like, I flip a Yui and I go up another aisle and I'm like, listen, we're gonna have an inefficient shopping trip today so that I can retain my sanity. I tell you what, like the longer I exist on this planet, the more I am really being convinced that I should just order all my groceries to be delivered. Because I have friends that do that, and I'm just like, y'all are some spoiled mothers. And
But you know what? I mean, I totally agree with you, but sometimes the shopper has to be good because
Yeah.
I get my shopping done and then I go and pick it up. And then sometimes when I get home, I was like, what is this piece of shit? What the hell? Why did they give me? I'm the person who does look at the berries and sh shit. So
it
sorry.
was not
Um,
Michelle at the
but I
It
Aldi.
don't spend
was. It
but then I don't
was.
spend all that time. But again, those shoppers can mess you up. But then you get a refund. So, it is apples and oranges.
Yeah, you got to
I
release some
order from
control.
it. I order from Hungry Root. I just have started doing that because it's just more efficient for me and my lifestyle. My lifestyle is just too much for me to go to the grocery store. So I that's what I do.
Nice. Are
Yeah,
we
I
ready
just
for the
I'm that person.
are we ready for the uncomfortable question?
Should
go
let's do it.
ahead.
Let's do it.
Go
Yep.
ahead, cornbread.
Or are we just kind of like want to say sorry more? I don't know. No, I'm joking.
Let's do
All
it.
right.
Listen, I don't
This
think
this
I've
this
said
one's
sorry at all this.
I
I am
know.
showing up and I am taking space today.
I
Okay,
am
cool. Take all the space.
I
All
don't
right.
want all the space. I just want
Here's a
my
good
space.
one. Here's a good one. All right. And you got to be honest here. You got to be honest. Do you say sorry more often than you say thank you?
yes.
Probably. I'm trying to stop. I mean, I even apologize.
I think it's even. I would say that I'm definitely being more, not that I wasn't a person who was unpleasant or didn't appreciate things, but I feel like as I'm getting older, I'm trying to be more nice. I know it sounds horrible, but I was nice previously, but I feel like I'm making a conscious effort to those people who look miserable and I'll say, oh, thank you, just kind of, I feel like that just doesn't sound right, does it? No, it doesn't. It really does.
Would
Sounds
you
like
like
I was
to
a complete
apologize
bitch.
for that, Michelle?
It sounds like I was a complete bitch, but I wasn't. But
Listen,
I feel like I'm making more of a conscious effort to say thank you to people and compliment people and to, put a smile on someone's face. How about that?
I so there's a difference between kindness and being nice. Can be fake. And like a lot of times when you're saying you're sorry, you're doing it to try to keep up this appearances of being nice. But
Yeah.
is it really a lot of
But
times I'm like,
I'm being genuine. Like, I'll comment on people's shoes and hairstyles and stuff like that. But and I never used to. So now I'm making a conscious effort. But again, I also do say sorry quite a lot. I might need to say it more often to my husband, but
dude, I
that,
think you're
that-
delightful.
I'm always right. Um,
I'm
When you're
always
right,
right.
you're right.
Listen, cohabitating is not easy. I don't
I
know, man. Now that I live alone with my dog, I apologize to her sometimes. I'm like, I'm so sorry we haven't gone for a walk yet. And I'm like, why am I apologizing to my dog?
yeah. So
Really?
Because Minnie is fabulous
Mm.
and Minnie deserves everything.
She was
I,
such a good cuddler last night. I was like, how do I get you to do this every night?
I
oh,
will say
She's
one other quick thing that I thought of when with this whole topic really quick is that another thing that I have to be careful of that I've and I learned this again, guess what? While getting sober. But it was, one of the things that they get you to start reflecting on is what was your part? What was your part? And sometimes I have to be very careful to go, sometimes I didn't have a part. And why am I apologizing for something I had no part of? So there's this fine line too of being able to go, what was my part in this situation so that I can, make it right, make the amend? Or was there no part at all in this situation? And just sometimes people are assholes, and
And
sometimes it just, it's not your fault.
I agree, but I also realized that, like, because I remember after I got divorced, like somebody was like, "What was your part in the divorce?" And I was like, "Oh, I tolerated it. I tolerated some of the things I shouldn't have tolerated. I didn't speak up for what I numbed, so I wasn't really like there were parts of me that, you know, like that whole like, ah, man, what was your part in it? That can be a sticky wicket. But sometimes like you have a conversation with somebody and they are just their nervous system is wigging and they can't be a but like I did have somebody who was verbally abusing themselves and saying, I'm so stupid and blah, blah, blah. And it was just, they were berating themselves on the phone with me in a conversation because they were frustrated about something that they called me for advice about. And and I just said, I'm not going to participate in this
Yeah,
because I was like, first of all, I'm not going to soothe you in this moment because that's not how you should, like, I'm not going to reward you for this behavior because it's not kind to yourself, but I'm not going to agree with you. I'm not going to participate in this conversation,
yeah.
And it was like, so I was like, who the hell, where did she come from? Like, but anyway, it was interesting. I was like, oh, I don't know how in the past I would have been like, oh no, you're not stupid and blah, blah. Well, you know what? It's not on me to build up somebody else's self-esteem and
Yeah,
to get them out of this verbal abuse spiral. And anyway, it really made me have a lot of compassion for that person because uh in the moment.
yeah.
Anyway, sidebars. All right, who's got quotes? Who's got quotes to
I
share?
have one.
Okay.
Do not apologize for crying. Without this emotion, we are only robots. And that was by Elizabeth Gilbert, which I think is just spot on.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah,
100%.
And
We are not robots. We are human beings and we need to get rid of some of the emotions that we have. And if crying is one of them, so be it.
I would expand that to do not apologize for needing to rest because we are also not robots.
oh, I love
That
that.
was told to me that something similar was told to me when I was caring for my mom is you're not a robot. You need rest.
We're not robots.
Mhm.
I'm going to add to that as well. Don't apologize for asking for what you need.
Mm. I'm gonna wrap it up with a real stinger.
All right.
We live in a time where we're made to feel guilty about overeating, oversleeping, and not exercising. Garfield, do y'all remember the lazy orange cat cartoon? Not only does all that, but he doesn't apologize for it. And that's by Jim Davis, who's the creator of Garfield.
That's so funny.
I love it.
So, Desi and her silliness. I found that when I was looking
I
for.
love it.
I
I
was
love
like,
it.
I had not thought of Garfield in a while. I don't know if they're still doing
I think so. I
I
think
don't
Garfield's still a thing.
I mean, ever since the demise of the paper newspapers, I used to read the funnies. That was like my Sunday thing. All right. Dory, you want to tee us up for what we're talking about next? Why are you laughing, Michelle? What do you call Did
You
y'all ever have
just
the funnies in the UK?
just the fact that you said that, because I remember reading Garfield in the UK. So I'm just kind of like a newspaper. Yeah, I'd buy a newspaper. Who buys a newspaper these days? Not many people. So that's why I'm laughing. I'm just like, man, we are aging ourselves here talking about newspapers. Next thing we'll talk about cassette players and all that stuff. And
How about just the old
Walkmans.
tape decks? Those things. Those things were great.
I know.
Wait, I heard that Taylor Swift is releasing her new album on cassette as well. Did y'all
I've
hear
heard
this?
I've heard cassettes are coming back.
Where is
Yes.
my Walkman Sport from 1980?
Yellow thing.
9,
Oh my God.
right? It was awesome because it was waterproof. It had a gasket. Okay, because who's gonna
I
swim
don't
with
remember.
that giant thing? What? Okay, so next time we're talking about. Do you need me to tee it up?
Yes, please.
All right.
My laptop just went like blank. I can't see you guys. Hold on. You
Oh
go ahead.
no. We can
Doris,
still see.
she went from hot flashes to wandering around in the dark, y'all. Thank you for hanging in there with us
Did she
today.
say I'm sorry? Did she say I'm sorry?
I don't think
Did
she
I
did.
say I'm sorry?
I don't think she did.
I don't think she did.
But we have the
Cool.
recording. We can listen.
I know we.
All right. We're next time we're talking about stopping the anxiety spiral.
Oh
How to
gosh.
break, like how to eject yourself out of the vortex of anxiety.
And this actually came from one of our viewers, our listeners, this particular topic. So thank you. You know who you are. Thank you for suggesting this. And we're always open for suggestions.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
All right. And we will see you guys in 2 weeks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Life Coaches Unfiltered. If you loved this episode, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, or follow us on social media. Got a question you've been afraid to ask? Send it our way at lifecoachesunfiltered@gmail.com. Until next time, keep growing, keep questioning, and stay unfiltered.